Imagine an island where emerald rice fields cascade like stairs to heaven, where ancient temples whisper secrets of the gods, and where beaches promise eternal bliss. That's the Bali I chased through Instagram feeds, and it was breathtaking. But beneath the filters lies a story of transformation. Hey, I'm Maki, and I volunteered on Bali to build homes amid the chaos. Join me as we uncover how overtourism is reshaping landscapes, upending villages, and sparking backlash, all while fueling an economy on the edge. Is Bali's allure sustainable, or is it fading fast? What happens when paradise becomes too popular? This is Makipolis, exploring spaces that shape lives. To understand Bali's current transformation, we must step back in time. Before the 1970s tourism surge, Bali was a serene agrarian society. Around 80% of its population depended on agriculture, cultivating rice through the ancient Subak system, a UNESCO-recognized network of terraces and irrigation canals that harmonized farming with Hindu rituals. Villages operated as self-sustaining communities, governed by local banjars, where life revolved around cycles of planting, harvesting, and ceremonies like Nyepi, the Day of Silence. The economy was modest: rice for sustenance, handicrafts for trade, and fishing along untouched coasts. No skyscrapers, no traffic jams, just a delicate balance between humans and nature. But with the expansion of Ngurah Rai Airport in 1969 and the first modern hotels in Kuta by 1971, everything began to shift. Pause and think, how fragile is that balance when progress arrives uninvited? Fast forward to today, and Bali's change is shocking. It's a warning for urban planners everywhere. Tourism makes up about 38% of the island's GDP. That's roughly $22.1 billion in 2025 from hotels, transport, and souvenirs. Visitor numbers jumped after COVID, 5.27 million in 2023, over 6.3 million in 2024, and heading past 7 million in 2025 as digital nomads stay longer in co-living spots. This growth isn't natural. It's driven by smart marketing, from eat, pray, love memories to TikTok trends. New rooms are popping up fast, several thousand planned by 2027, mostly in Canggu and Uluwatu. Rice fields are now home to big resorts with helipads and spas. The boom creates millions of jobs. Think baristas making avocado toast or guides leading reef dives. But local pay stays low, just $220 to $250 a month. That's tough when even a simple meal at a warung costs like in Europe. Most profits go to investors from Jakarta or abroad. Australian buyers grabbing land, Chinese groups building huge projects. The island pulls in tens of thousands of workers from Lombok and Java every year. They send money home but overload Bali's roads and housing. Picture crowded dorms in Denpasar or makeshift camps on the edges. As an architect, I see a clear imbalance. Everyone wants real Bali experiences, but the money favors outsiders over locals. When growth leaves people behind, who really wins from this paradise? And how does it change the island's heart? This influx isn't just economic, it's physically reshaping Bali's iconic landscapes. Across the island, around 1,000 hectares of farmland vanish annually, with significant losses in areas like Tabanan and Gianyar threatening the Subak system's UNESCO-protected harmony. Ancient canals clog with silt from upstream construction, while farmers abandon terraces for villa labor. Coastal erosion bites deeper. Southern beaches like Kuta and Seminyak have lost 5 to 30 meters of sand since the 1980s, exacerbated by hotel constructions and seasonal plastic tsunamis, dumping around 60 tons of waste during the monsoon season on spots like Kuta and Seminyak, choking coral reefs and turtle nesting sites. Traffic tells its own story. What was a 30-minute scoot in Canggu now stretches to 3 hours in peak chaos, with new roads carving through villages and spewing exhaust that rivals Jakarta's smog. And personally, when I visited 5 years ago, Ubud felt like a tranquil artist's haven, where morning mist clung to rice paddies and temple bells echoed softly. Now it's an Instagram playground dotted with infinity pools everywhere, neon signs flashing over once sacred paths. I went for the beauty, those vibrant greens and spiritual vibes, and it was magical. But seeing the change firsthand made me question, how much can we alter a place before it loses its soul? Overtourism hurts Balinese people the most. Traditional dances like kekak used to be sacred rituals. Now they're nightly shows for tourists, losing their true meaning, as UNESCO warns. Water is a big problem too. Tourism uses 65% of it. Hotels take 800 liters per room every day. This leaves 113 villages in places like Buleleng dry in recent years. People walk kilometers just for basic water as rivers run low. Locals are fighting back. In Janyar Sukawati, they block new hotels. A 2025 rule stops villas in 6 districts to save farmland. My own time there made this real. Fulfilling a dream, I joined Bali Build 2023 with Habitat for Humanity. Our group of young volunteers contributed financially and spent a few days helping build 2 new homes for families who needed them. It was in a remote part of the village, surrounded by simple bamboo houses. Their gratitude was incredible. They even cooked us lunch over an open fire, fresh rice and vegetables shared with real warmth. It felt like being part of the community. But every evening, we drove back to our hotel with a pool and air conditioning, surrounded by tourists. That huge difference hit me hard as an architect. Basic homes here, luxury just kilometers away. It forces us to ask, can tourism uplift without dividing? Bali's story is a real paradox. Like Venice or Barcelona, tourism brings clear benefits. It creates millions of jobs in hotels and restaurants. Young people leave farms for better pay with tips and skills. New infrastructure helps. A planned northern airport to reduce south traffic and better roads linking remote villages. This could grow rural areas if done well. But the negatives are huge. Housing prices rise about 7% a year. Locals can't afford their family land anymore. Canggu is often more expensive than many European spots. A simple villa lease now costs millions in foreign money. Gentrification pushes people out. Villages turn into fancy spots. Local warongs become vegan cafes. Community halls host yoga classes. As an architect, I wonder, how do we grow without losing who we are? Tools like zoning rules or community land trusts could help fix this. But Bali isn't resigned to decline. Innovators and policymakers are sketching a more resilient future. Initiatives offer hope. A $10 tourist tax since 2024 has raised hundreds of billions of rupiah for sustainability, funding everything from coral restoration to village water tanks. A 2025 to 2026 moratorium on new hotels in key districts like Denpasar, Badung, and Gianyar aims to curb sprawl, giving planners time to enforce height limits and green buffers. Regenerative tourism pushes eco-villas that restore Subak water flows through rainwater harvesting and permaculture gardens, turning guests into stewards rather than extractors. Looking elsewhere for blueprints, Bhutan's high daily fees keep actual visitor numbers around 100,000 annually, preserving culture and funding free healthcare for citizens. Costa Rica's eco-model has contributed to erosion reduction and protects about 30% of its territory through certified green hotels and national parks that reinvest fees into conservation. These paths aren't perfect, but they prompt reflection. Can Bali strike a balance by capping daily arrivals, mandating local hiring quotas, or creating tourism-free zones for cultural recharge? As an architect, I envision hybrid designs, villas that incorporate Subak principles, or apps guiding visitors to off-peak villages. The question is urgent: integrating tourism without erasure, or is over-tourism an inevitable tide we must dam with intention? Bali taught me that spaces don't just house us, they shape our stories, our struggles, and our futures. As we chase dreams in far-off paradises, let's ponder our footprint. The best travel lesson: give back where it matters most. I'm Maki, and this is Makipolis, my journey to uncover how spaces shape our lives. What can your city learn from Bali's lessons? If this sparked your curiosity, hit subscribe to Makipolis for more dives into urban worlds. Like and comment your thoughts below. Thanks for watching.